very first Team Rise and Shine team call. This is super exciting. And Danielle, thank you for letting me and Demetria have the honor of taking the first call. It's pretty darn cool. Super nervous and super excited at the same time. So let's get started. And Demetria is going to start us off with our announcements for tonight, you guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being on. I'm going to go as fast as possible so that we have the full time and don't keep everybody over our 30 minutes. So welcome to our first Team Rise and Shine call. As Stacy said, we're so honored to be able to do this call. And I hope you guys get some really good takeaways. So I just wanted to go over some quick announcements about what's going on in the business in case you haven't caught up with some important stuff for August. So first, I want to say congratulations to everybody who beat their best or set their best in July. That was freaking awesome. There's a lot of us on this team. If you've gone into our team page and seen Stace, can you mute real quick? Mm-hmm. If you've gone into the team page, you'll see a huge leaderboard, and there's so many of our names on it, and I think that's so cool. And if you want to see the actual list of all the names for Beachbody, of everybody that's done that, you can go to teambeachbody.com/beatyourbest. The next thing is really cool for new coaches. So if you're a brand new coach that started in May or June or July or even today, Carl Deichler is doing a really cool incentive for you to get your business rolling and just get you excited about helping people. He is giving away a $100 gift with a personalized note and a frame to put that note in personally from him for the top 100 Success Club point earners. So if you're a brand new coach, that's something you should definitely be shooting for. If you've joined us in May, June, July, or recently within this month, that's something you definitely want to look at. So there's an FAQ for it. I forgot to write it down, so you'll have to go into your back office and just type in or Carl's personalized note. If somebody knows the FAQ, put it in the chat, please. Okay, so the next really cool thing is that there's, you guys know about the new, or you should know about the new program coming up, Transform 20. It's the new Shaun T program. So if you're Shaun T people, it's super exciting and it's going to be launching, but there's a pilot test group that everybody in the network has an opportunity to earn a spot. They're opening up 140 guaranteed spots for that test group. And basically what's going to happen is for each level of coach, there's a different way that you can qualify. So you want to get the information for that. But everybody, whether you're a brand new coach, whether you're a lifetime diamond, or whether you're a star diamond, everybody has the opportunity to earn a spot for that. So it's based on different criteria depending on what your rank is. So the FAQ for that's 9216. So definitely get the information for that and share it with your coaches. If you guys didn't see the office hours that Alana Molstedt is doing on Facebook, she's doing that in the month of August on Wednesdays and Fridays, and that's 11 a.m. Pacific time. So that's going to be 2 p.m. our time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. FAQ 9750 for that. It's something, you can go in there and get a wealth of information from her. So take advantage of that tool. Speaking of her, there is the new 2B Mindset certification. The registration has already opened. It opened on the 7th of this month. It's only $99 right now. You guys, this is a really cool opportunity for all of us to get a more in-depth understanding of that nutrition-only program. And it's just, if you haven't done it already, you definitely need to do it. I think completing the program is actually a requirement to get the certification, but it's a really cool opportunity for us to help our coaches, because there's some people that just are not going to be ready to exercise. Maybe they have a sports injury, maybe they're too overweight at the moment to work out, maybe they have another type of injury, or maybe they just aren't ready. Nutrition is obviously 80 to 90% of our results. So getting the certification and really having that as a way to reach out to your people and say, you know what, I have more ways to help you and really understand how to help you with this program. That's something everybody should do. It's only $99, but you got to get in soon because the spots fill up. Okay. And then To Be Mindset packs and kits, they're $20 off until September 3rd. So there's an FAQ for that, $97.49. I know there's a lot of announcements and I'm going fast, but that's why we record the calls. Lift 4 and Mes de Mas challenge packs are $10 off, and they actually extended that through September 30th for us. So it's a really cool extra incentive that you can tell people when they're kind of on the fence. But those are amazing programs. I'm in the middle of Lift 4 right now. I don't know, most of you probably are too, and it's awesome. I love it. I love having 3 flex days. I just love everything about the program. So that's going to be discounted till the 30th. And then Beach Bars, 10% discount on all Beach Bar box bundles. So 1 box, 2 box, or 3 box until September 3rd, which is really cool. You guys, if you haven't had the Beach Bars yet, you're missing out on life. Okay, they're the best things that's ever happened to our nutrition line. They're so freaking good. You can take them on trips. You can give them to your kids. You can have them as a snack. They're awesome. And they go with almost all of our meal plans. And then a cool announcement they said on the National Wake Up Call was the palindrome, the 8:18:18. They're doing the big sweat at 8:18 a.m. I don't know if that's Pacific time or if that's Eastern time. I'm assuming it's Pacific time. But that's something they're going to give more information about. I couldn't find any other info yet. And then the last announcement is July 1st was when they started a new Success Club reward program format, okay? So normally if you've been in the business, you're used to earning Success Club 5 or above, and then you get some sort of reward from Beachbody, whether that's, personal development or some sort of swag or whatever. They've changed that now to kind of like a tiered earning Success Club prizes. So you earn Success Club for either 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months from July until December, and then any amount of those months within that time, and you earn the Success Club tiered prizes. So I think the first prize is a hat. I think the second prize for 3 months is a t-shirt. And then the third prize is like a really cool bag. But they're changing it because they want us to stay consistent. Just like we want our challengers to stay consistent, they want us to stay consistent. So it's a better incentive to keep working towards than to just one and done it. So I love the new setup. I hope you guys do too. But if you want all the information on that, it's FAQ 2027. Okay, I know that's a lot of announcements. I'm going to hand it over to Stacy because I really want to have time for the call.
Okay, guys, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Stacy Shiflett. So thank you guys for taking time out. I know people got families and kids. I'm running single parent tonight, so my kids, pray to God the iPads stay locked and loaded for this call. I want to talk to you guys about invites and just the way that I do them. I know we can get on every YouTube channel and type in how to invite, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And you just have to find your jam, your rhythm, and just take a little bit from somebody and somebody and somebody, write it down, and just say to yourself, does this feel comfortable to me? Am I okay with doing this? Because here's the coolest thing. Invites work 50,000 ways because it all gets to the same destination, right? So don't worry so much about, am I saying the right words? Am I doing the right actions? I think the biggest thing that I've learned in literally the last week is from Christina Delgado. Slow down. Slow down. Don't get your business activity tracker out and go, my goal is 20 invites a day and I'm only on 10. And you stress yourself out, right? And then you're like, but I have nobody else to invite. I think the biggest thing that we need to focus on for invitations really is conversations. Getting to know people. Like, I think your number one priority is convos all the time, right? So whether you have a fitness page, you have your regular Facebook page, you have your Instagram. I know for me, I don't really have a lot of interaction yet on Instagram as I do on my personal Facebook page and on my fitness page. So go where energy flows, right? So don't worry if you're like, I'm not on Instagram and it's not working on Instagram. Fine, who cares? If it's working on your Facebook page, rock that. Remember, master one thing at a time, okay? So if you have a fitness page, I'm just gonna give out a quick, easy thing you can do. So you go to your fitness page, and you want to go to activities, and you want to see all the people that have started to like your fitness page. This is what I do. I get a lot of interaction. I give a lot of value, and I'm starting to integrate what Christina has taught us in the last couple of days. So, and you can use this in something else too, but this is what I do strictly for my fitness page. So to not do spam, to like do a red alert for spam. If you're gonna do an invite and you wanna just do a copy and paste so you can kind of move a little more free, make sure you're doing it in threes, right? So if I'm gonna say to you, hey Stephanie, thanks so much for supporting my fitness page. I really appreciate it. I would love to email you a free healthy guideline checklist from me to you. Is that cool? Hugs, Stacy. But you want to say that 3 different ways. So then it doesn't pick up on spam and you don't get locked, and then you're basically screwed for messaging people and talking for maybe 7 to 10 days. So be very careful. So word it in threes and give value. You can go to Etsy. I have a great girl. I'll type in her name in the comments. Her name is Danielle. I can't spell her last name, just Nazir, Nazir, I think. She's awesome because she's got some great content that you can buy for like $5, $2, $12, and you look professional. So you don't have to worry about going like, well, I don't know how to do PicMonkey and I don't know how to do Canva. If you have $5 and you can buy a free meal plan, buy it, and then you can give them that as value, right? So then you're giving them something right off the bat. So I usually will give them a written message, and I'll do it in threes, right? And I wait for them to hear back. And I always ask them, today I'm sending out a personalized free meal plan through email. Do you happen to have an email address? Always end with a question mark. They may not give you your email address. They might. If they do, start collecting those emails, because we don't want to put all of our eggs in a basket and rely that Facebook is going to be here forever. You know, we have to be careful that we're not just banking, because what if Facebook goes down one day? You lost all your contacts, everything, and then where does your business fly, right? So emails are super, super, super important. They usually will write me back, and when they do, I'm using Christina's stuff now, and it really is working. Did you guys have you listened to Christina's thing yet about inviting in the scripts? Guys, that is your golden egg right there. Oh my goodness. The rest is you have to listen to them, because when you give out the value and just say, okay, great, I'm glad that you got this. Tell me what's up. Tell me why you liked, and what motivated you to like this page. You can do that on your fitness page right away, because they already like fitness. They're curious about fitness. You can kind of move a little more faster, but still being slow and listening to their jam, right? So definitely try to do that and just get the conversation going. Don't worry so much about, I want to get to an invite. Worry about getting to the meat of why they need this page. If you get to the meat, yeah.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. Can you mute everyone? For some reason, people keep
I can't mute everybody. I tried to. Did I get them?
If you go to participants, it'll mute everybody. Go to participants and then mute everyone.
I think we're good now. Good?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay. No, you're welcome. Okay. So basically with your fitness page, you can really start to engage right away. And also to remember what Christina said, go to their page and find something you can relate to, like something that you gravitate to. And if you can't gravitate, just thank them again for supporting your page. Thank yous go a long, long way, right? And just get to know them. Find out what they like. You could say something like, oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock at night and the kids are about to go to bed. Do you have kids too? Start to get to know them. Find out who they are. Care more about who they are versus let me get that invitation in, because it's going to come and it will be more organic, authentic, real, passionate. So I wouldn't stress so much on getting those invites just to get to know them better. Okay. On your regular face. Oh, and also too, you can do what I'm about to tell you now. You can do this to get conversations going and flowing. Like, let's say you get something to give them value. Like, let's say you have a Mexican meal, right? And I'll say, who wants a free Mexican, whatever it is? Everybody loves Mexican food. You cannot go wrong on Mexican food. Comment with your favorite emoji and I will send this to you. Guys, that's a big thing. You can do that on your fitness page now. You can type out things like that now and make the pretty backgrounds. You can do that on your personal pages now. And then start that conversation. Give them value. Thank them. Go on their page before you respond back. Sometimes too, guys, is anybody comfortable with doing voice on Messenger yet? If you're not, that's okay. Make that your goal in the next 3 weeks. Like, if it really scares you, then do it. Like, say to yourself, between now and Sunday, I'm going to do 5 voice invites. And here's the coolest thing. If you need help with that, please send me a private message. You can pretend voice message me in Messenger, and I will ask and I will respond and see if you feel comfortable. So just be that icebreaker. You can totally use me. I'm sure you can use one of your coaches. Just practice it and be authentic. I know it's scary, but the more you do it, a lot of people can read in between the lines and they'll go, she's just trying to sell me Beachbody. She's just trying to sell me some Shakeology. And if they can hear your voice, literally hear your voice. When I do a voice invite with my fitness page, it goes something like this. I'll just say, I'll just use somebody. Hey, Susan, it's Stacy. Thank you so much for accepting my friend request. And thank you so much for following my fitness page. I really do appreciate it. And I'm super thankful. I just want to tell you a couple of things about my fitness page in case you're not aware. I post about 2 to 4 times a day. I also have some amazing challenge groups if you're ever interested to help with your accountability, get some fun recipes, get some like-minded friends. But more importantly, you're in a community. But just to kind of give you a heads up, I am running a challenge group this month. If you want to hear more about it, totally give me a shout back. How's your summer been? Click. Done. I try to keep it under 2 minutes. They hear me, and a lot of them message me back and they'll say, wow, no one's ever done that to me before. That was really nice of you. And I get more responses back when I voice invite versus writing something. Do you guys ever notice you may get ghosts a lot of time with your invites and you're like, no one's responding back to me? Sometimes they may not see it. And if you're comfortable, you can always go back to their Facebook page, comment on a couple of things, and then send them a message like, hey girl, did you get my free recipe the other day? Go check it out on Facebook Messenger. So if you're always sending something with value, I think that makes you feel less worried, or for me, it makes me feel less worried to say, hey, did you get my invite? Do you know what I mean? Because I sent the value, attached with it is an invitation, but I'm only talking to them like, did you get my recipe? Because it doesn't really show that I'm trying to press forward. Does that make sense? So finding things like that for me really, really, really works. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to Demetria about invitations, questions about invites, what you struggle with, anybody, you can unmute yourself if you want and ask a question or do it in the chat. Anybody? Or you can write it in the chat too. We can go with Demetria in just a second here. But for me personally, if you can do voice invites, I think they're really cool. I think you have more room to kind of press forward if you start to get your fitness friends because they already love fitness. So you can actually feel more confident going in a little quicker because they like your fitness page. So if they like your fitness page, you already kind of have one foot into the door. You know what I mean? And you can lower that. But for your regular page, get to know them first. Don't worry about so much the invite. Ask them to get to the meat of the story. You know, if you do fitness posts and pics on your personal Facebook page, I love messaging them back and just saying, thanks so much for supporting my fitness journey and this new program that I'm rocking. Do you happen to like cardio too? Which I don't, but I would say, do you happen to hate cardio too? You know what I mean? And you joke and ice break it and just like get into that. You know, you thank them. Are they on a health journey? And then go from there. And then you can throw your invite there. I know I didn't give a lot of invite suggestions because I think you have to focus first on this before you get to an invite. Okay. I'm going to let Demetria take over because I'm watching the clock. So if you guys have any questions, please send them in the chats or message us whenever you want.
Real quick, Stace, there's one question. How many invites do you send a day as a new coach and then a veteran coach? I'll answer for myself. As a new coach, I was just kind of doing the vital behaviors at the time were the 3 vital behaviors. I did, 3 to 5 invites a day. Now it's a lot more. I do, anywhere from 10 to 20 a day. What I do. And I don't invite every day. There's some days that I don't invite, and then I try to double it up. So you have to find, like Stacy said, your rhythm of what works for your life and your schedule. That's the best part about this business. You can do that.
And if you can't get, like, let's say your goal is 10 invites that day and you can't get them in, just make sure your 5 are really like quality versus quantity, because then you get the realness. So don't sweat the number, sweat the quality that you're giving out, and just be genuine. I think that's the biggest thing. I think for me too, Demetria, I was the same. I don't even think I tracked my invites in the beginning.
I did.
I don't think I did. And then when I got my head down, I pulled this out and I still use it to this day. And I just did what I could, like riding a bike, and then you ride fast and you can just keep going. So start with 1 or 2 and go. That's my suggestion.
I love it. Thank you, Stacy. So I'm just going to run through. I made notes so that I stay on track, but I'm going to just share with you some examples, because I know for me, that's always what helps me the most, is when I see what people actually do. So, my invite process is different than Stacy's, but however you invite, once you get to the point where you need to follow up, various scenarios come up. Sometimes you're obviously inviting to challenge groups or coaching. And then it can follow up. It can happen anywhere in between, where you're following up to a recent invite, you're following up to somebody who ghosted you, you're following up to somebody you just maybe forgot to follow up with, or somebody that maybe used to be in your challenge groups and fell off. I think all of these scenarios are part of the follow-up process. So I'm just going to run through a couple examples of things that I have done. And one thing that has made follow-ups and inviting much easier for me is when I get somebody's response, like if I put a call to action, or if I reached out to somebody and asked them if they're interested, I always get their email. The next thing I say before I go any further is I say, what's your best email, so that I can send you a few questions and get to know more about you and your goals. So that way I have their email if there's ever a disconnect on Facebook, like Stacey said, but then I can control the tracking part of it. And in that email, my question list, and I'm more than happy to share it in our team page, my question list is about 10 questions, and one of them includes their why. So that really helps me a lot to have them, I kind of make them visualize what would they say or feel like if today was the day they woke up and reached their goal. And so I also ask them their why. So I can share those in our team page. But what that does is it also in the email gives me the opportunity to say, answer these questions, be as open as honest as you can, take your time. If I don't hear back from you by X date, I usually give them 2 days, then I will follow up with you. That way they're not weirded out and they don't feel pressured when I'm following up with them, because they expect me to follow up because I said I was going to follow up with them. And I always put that in the email. Hey, I'll check in with you by Friday if I don't hear from you first. So then that's what I do. So that's one way I follow up. If I follow up with them and they haven't gotten back to me with the questions, then I say to them, hey, I'm just going to read you one. Good morning. I hope your summer's going well. I see your pics look like you're making lots of memories with your kids, busy mom life. Wanted to let you know I'm getting ready to open up spots for my August group. I know we never finished connecting. I would love to still help you. Are you still looking to get started? So one of the things I always put at the end of my follow-ups is let me know either way. that really helps me to feel like it takes the pressure off them to say yes or say no, but they can feel comfortable if now's not the time, they can feel comfortable saying, it's not really a good time. And then if they do, write back and say, oh my gosh, most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't had the time. I totally forgot. Thank you so much for following up with me. I'll get back to you tomorrow. And then I keep the process going. I just wrote some examples for someone who has Beachbody On Demand, but maybe you want them to try a new program like Lift 4. I would reach out and say, hey, whoever, you popped in my mind yesterday. I wanted to see how things are going. I really miss having you in my groups. So usually somebody who has Beachbody On Demand is probably going to be a former challenger, or somebody maybe they just, got it and then maybe they did or didn't plug into a group. I would love to work on our goals together again. That's another really good follow-up tactic for me, is reminding them that we're doing this together. So I would love to work on our goals together if they've never been in my group, or I would still love to work on our goals together. You're always welcome to jump back in. I have a group starting. Are you interested? And then I always say this really helps me too, so they feel, because I have to respond to people the way I want to be responded to. So that's another tip for you. You have to think about the type of person you are and talk to people the way you want to be talked to. Don't try to copy Stacy or copy me or copy. So you have to think about your own voice and talk to people in that voice. So for me, I like when people take pressure off of me. I don't want them to be pressing me to, hey, where are you at? Like, what's going on? I don't like that. So I don't do that to people. I give them a lot of opportunity to get back to me when it works for them. So I say something like, I really miss working out together. What's been going on? Catch me up. That's a really good way to follow up. Hey, how have you been? Catch me up. You don't even have to necessarily, mention a group or, whatever. If someone who hasn't responded to you for a while, again, I always say it's been a while since we've chatted, and I thought about you as I'm getting my group organized and ready. How are things with you? How are the boys? Catch me up. And then you can roll the conversation from there. And then I put one in here about a coach follow-up. So I had a girl who said she was interested in coaching, and then she would get information and then she would ghost, and then she would just ghost. And I would follow up with her. Hey, checking in on you. Everything cool? Are you okay? Did you get my information? Talk to me when you can. And she just kind of ghosted. So I kept seeing her posting on Instagram all these fitness things. She's obviously cares about her health. I know that she needs the extra income. And so I just reached out to her and I said, okay, girl. And sometimes you can be straightforward with people depending on where you are in the relationship. So I said to her, I'm going to ask you this, even if you don't answer me like before. I said, why the heck aren't you a coach? I said, you're motivated, you're hardworking, kind, loving, and it's clear that your health is very important to you. People need somebody like you, and I'm looking for people like you on my team. I guess the better question is, what don't you know yet about this amazing opportunity that you still need to know? And she responded back. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for for reaching out. I think I'm ready. And I was like, oh, okay. So then the process is rolling from there. Another follow-up is, always have something to invite to. That's a tip I got from Melanie Mitchell a long time ago. Always have something to invite to. It takes the pressure off if they're not ready for a full-blown group, or they're not necessarily ready for you to send them information about coaching or the challenge group. Coach follow-up to a sneak peek could be, I keep mine very simple. Hey, we have another coach sneak peek coming up. I know you wanted to get in before, but didn't have the opportunity. Let me know if you want to listen, or do you want to listen in? Let me know either way. So I think for following up, I could give you a million examples, but number one, it's important that you do it. Number two, you have to track so you can, there's no way for you to remember who you're supposed to follow up unless you have some sort of tracking system, whether that's paper and pen, whether that's Teamsy, whether that's Google Streak, whatever you use, Excel. And then just to keep it simple and use the voice that you like to be spoken to in, whatever. Talk the way you want to be spoken to, talk to. Can't talk. But you know what I'm saying. Don't use somebody else's voice, use your own. That to me was so helpful because I'm a very rule following type of person. So when I first became a coach, it was like, I got to do whatever so-and-so saying and do it exactly how they're saying it. That doesn't work because it might not sound like you, and it might not be something that you would ever even say or you can figure out. So you got to figure out, talk to people like you're having a conversation, because you are, and you're just inviting them to do something much better with their life. So there's really nothing to be worried about. You're not bugging them. You're caring about them. So that was a big thing for me too, to remember, you know what, I'm not bugging these people. I said that I was going to follow up with them, and I want them to know that I care. Just because they said no before doesn't mean I don't care anymore. So anyways, if anybody has questions, I'll check the chat out, but I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes sense. I know it was fast, but I wanted to give you some hands-on stuff that I actually do. What tracker do you coaches recommend? I use Google Streak now. I did use Teamsy. I wasn't doing well with it. I just kept like starting it and stopping it, and it didn't catch on for me. So I use Google Streak and I love it. It works very well for me. And I also still use paper and pen, because sometimes I just need to quickly be able to see who's my most recent people, and I can just go in there and go in the little binder. I got that idea from Stacy. And just look and see who I've been talking to. Another cool tracking, it's not really tracking, but another cool way to kind of keep people together is for you to create an interest list on your Facebook. So if you have people that you're building relationships with, instead of having everybody you're friends with in the newsfeed and having Facebook pick who you get to see, you can write a list of the people that you are creating relationships with and that you've kind of been talking to, and put them in their own kind of news feed, so you can go through and make sure you're staying in contact with them and supporting them, supporting their posts, seeing what they're up to, engaging and building the relationship. That has helped me a lot too. Let's see. You're doing. Let's see. I think that's it. Does anybody else have? Yeah, Streak is free and easy. Danielle said it's free, and you gotta love free. Stephanie said she uses a dry erase board, but that's good. I mean, honestly, don't get caught up. Again, this is coming from the rule follower. Try very hard to not get caught up in having to do it a certain way. The way that you do it is whatever you're going to do, that's what works. If you know you'll reach for your phone, then use your phone. If you know you'll reach for pen and paper, then reach for pen and paper. Don't force yourself into somebody else's system, because then it just becomes another to-do and you're not going to follow through with it. And trust me, I've done that a million times. Like, I have to do it Melanie Mitro's way, or I have to do it. I had to try like a million things to figure out what works for me. And right now, and it may change, but right now for me, Google Streak is it. All right. Stace, anything else you want to add? Does anybody want to add anything?
Does anybody, we have 4 minutes left. Do you guys want to open it up to questions, concerns, things that are kind of on your plate right now that maybe you just need a little love on? You can totally unmute and just chat it up. Ask questions. I think everyone's good. I think just the big thing is, if you're new, if you're seasoned, find your rhythm, slow down, put the blinders on. And it is like, and it's funny because your vibe does attract your tribe. I'm exactly like Dimitri in that aspect where it's like, okay, well, if she's doing this, then I have to do it that way. And it's almost like you go out of the gate not even trusting your own gut. Mm-hmm. So that's the other cool thing about coaching you guys. You get to learn to trust your gut. And that gut is that little quiet whisper that talks to you, that just says, pull out the tracker, go to Walmart, get the calendar. Like that, you hear that gentle whisper? If you keep hearing business activity tracker, that's not you. That's what you think. Okay? So if you hear just go to Walmart and buy a calendar and rock it. Do your dry eraser board like Stephanie does. Guys, simplicity, make it fun, enjoy your process, and don't worry about who has Success Club points, who has that. And that's another thing that we all worry about. That energy is in the wrong direction. The energy needs to be in what can you give to that person who needs to hear your story. And if it's one and done, man. If it's 20, awesome. If it's somewhere in the middle, great. But you could be saving somebody from taking their life, ending their marriage, walking out on a job that they really don't need to. So remember, it's never really about us. So don't be afraid to invite, and even if they say no, fine. That just means, like they always say, it is not yet. I have somebody the other day who joined me. She was a coach on my team when I first started 2 years ago. She just came back. Mm-hmm. It's because you just remain friends with them. So that's what we're trying to talk about tonight, is just love people wherever they're at in the process of their season. That's it. Stephanie said this is not an opportunity. It's our responsibility. Yes. And it's really true, So just love yourself, slow down.
I want to add something real quick. I had a coach recently who decided to walk away from coaching. She still wants to be a challenger, but she's like, this isn't for me. And she actually went and rejoined another MLM. So I was like, a lot of times people look at that and they're like, oh my gosh, it's hard sometimes to not take it personally, but I know at this point in my coaching career, it's not about me. If it's not for her, I don't want it for her. I don't want something more for someone than they want it for themselves. That's what makes coaching not fun. You want it to be something they're ready for, they're hungry for, and you're not hand-holding and going, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? You want people to come to you and be bugging you with a million questions. Those are the people, at least that's what I want. I don't want it to be somebody who I'm saying, you really be good at this. That's when you're inviting, yes, encourage people to know, to see that they could do this, but we're not in the business of convincing. If it's not for them, then it's okay. It's not about you. You have to want for them what's best for them. And don't take it personally. Detach yourself from the outcome. So I'm going to love her no matter what, and maybe she'll be back at some point. I don't know, but I'm not going to make it about me. I'm going to just support her. So that was really a big learning thing for me too.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to get cut off here in like 10 seconds, you guys. Good night. Call recorded.
All right.
Night call 1, y'all.
All right. Love it.
Bye, guys. Take care. Good night.